If you're into Game Boy, there's a good chance you'll like my new Neo Geo Pocket Color series too. Every Thursday I'm reviewing a new Neo Geo game. Just join the POCubed Patreon or become a channel member here on YouTube. It's always interesting when satirists attempt to parody real-world events and make them light-hearted. It helps people deal with situations by humorizing them, and if done correctly, does not detract from and can even enhance the overall story of what's going on. That's certainly the case with Mad Magazine's Spy vs. Spy, which is a wordless comic strip dating back to the early 60s. It starred two rival secret agents constantly at war with each other and constantly trying to outdo each other using a variety of booby traps and tricks. One spy never really got the upper hand over the other. Sometimes they both lost, in a simple but effective commentary on the Cold War. The first Spy vs. Spy game was originally published in 1984 for the Commodore 64 system and was actually developed by the same team, First Star Software, who made this Game Boy port. The object of the game is to collect all 5 parts of a particular item detailed to you by your boss. This could be a microfilm, a blueprint, a floppy disk, all sorts of things, as well as the attaché case. Then exit the level through a door before the other spy leaves or before the timer runs out. You need to find the case first because without it, you can only hold one part of the item at a time, and you lose items if you're killed or run into a trap. Any item found alongside the attaché case will stay with it, so by finding the case that's been dropped by the other spy, you will also get all parts of the item that have been found so far. When one of the spies has all 5 parts, the music will change, meaning it's time to go find the exit and win the level, or intercept your enemy. Along the way, you can place booby traps for your opponent. There are lots of chests that you can look in for the item pieces. If it turns out the chest is empty, you can place a bomb in them, which will explode if the other guy looks in it. Similarly, you can look in trees. If the target is not there, you can place a trap in the tree which will then fall on your opponent if he happens to search it. The level designs differ slightly as you go along. The original game was set in an embassy whereby you would traverse interconnected rooms. The principle is the same here, but the environment might be a tropical island, an ice world, a cave, or the inside of a pyramid, all of which have their own traps. You have a health bar with 10 points on it, and both you and your opponent's health is visible. Falling into a trap causes you to lose 3 points of health. Getting punched costs you 1. Other hazards can cause you damage depending on how long you're trapped in them, and your health can be restored by simply standing still. If your health drops under 7, then you move slower and your jumping distance is decreased. If you happen to die, there is a cooling off period before you reappear from one of the doors. There are 2 doors in each arena. The other spy enters at a different location to you, and it's possible to cross paths at some point during the game, resulting in a fist fight. This isn't executed particularly well, and you usually end up dying. There's a well-planned difficulty curve in this game if you can get over the initial difficulty. At first, the opponent is pretty stupid, so it's quite easy to gather all the bits yourself, and the levels are pretty small. Later on, the other spy gets very conniving, and the level's much more convoluted, so it's up to you whether you want to be aggressive and look for the items proactively, or set traps and wait for the other spy to do your work for you. The game does look like the comics, but it's still quite raw and rudimentary, as is the sound. Spy vs. Spy was much more effectively pulled off on the Game Boy Color, so if you have to choose between the two, probably go for the later game. This version is okay, and the game is quite original for the time, but other than that, I'm not sure I would be playing this very often given a choice. I think this game could be more fun playing against another human, so if you've got a link cable, try it out. I do wonder how useful a floppy disk would be after being split into 5 pieces, however.